Studios in Brea, California, here is the Doyledin Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Doyledin Podcast. We're going to be talking about some wrestling news that might not be WWE related, some stuff that happened at KnokX Pro over the past week that we kind of want to discuss a little bit, and, you know, some stuff WWE related as we have Clash in Paris tomorrow as we're recording this on Friday. And yeah, I mean, this KnokX Pro stuff, I saw people who I don't usually hear talk about wrestling talk about it. And so it kind of took the internet by storm. You want to give a little rundown of what happened?
Yeah, I mean, it was, KnokX Pro, they're a small developmental group that's owned by Rikishi, who is the father of Jimmy and Jey Uso. And it's ran by some other of the family up there, right? I'll get into that momentarily, my history with some of those guys. But yeah, they're part of the WWE ID program. Well, they were, and which is a developmental system. It's kind of like what we had at UPW back in the day, where we had a contract with WWE to develop guys, be a farm system, ship them on over to WWE Performance Center, NXT now. Back then it was OVW or FCW, depending on where they ended up. But that was the deal they had in place, and that they were working guys there and just developing guys, and I'm sure WWE would kick in some of the costs for the overhead of the shows or the school. At least that was the contract they had back in the day with UPW. But we had this particular, I don't even know what his name is, a kid in the cowboy hat, I guess invited Raja Jackson, Rampage Jackson's kid, to the show. And he wanted to get involved in something. Raja did, apparently. But the thing is, he doesn't know how it works. He doesn't know how the wrestling business works. And unless you know how the wrestling business works, then you're going to be kind of like, what the hell's going on here? So he approached, Psycho Stu, who's Stuart Smith, out in the parking lot, backstage area where they have this very poorly put together dressing room. And Stu hit him with a can over the head. It was an empty can. So people are saying it's a gimmick can or what. And by that, meaning it's an empty can. You can't really gimmick a can. I mean, it's a can. It's an aluminum can.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt you, right? But you got to let the guy know you're going to do it. Otherwise, especially somebody who doesn't work in the business, you got to kind of let him know, hey, I'm going to hit you with the can and just sell it, and we're off to the races. So when you have somebody who's hot-headed like Raja Jackson and you smack him in the head with an empty can, he's going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I get that part. Absolutely get that part, right? But it doesn't hurt, right? It doesn't hurt. When I wrestled Rick Bassman at the Grove, Todd Kennedy hit me in the head with a big, full can of Raw Dog, right? And we said, hey, you gotta open it. It's got to be a little bit emptier than full, right? So maybe 3/4 full, so you can have that motion. And when you smack me in the head, and Todd Kennedy was like, I think it needs to be empty. I don't want to hurt you. I'm like, just fucking, it has to be full, almost full, because when you hit me, it's going to go everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt. And it looks better, right? It looks better because it's like, psh, right? It explodes,
like
right?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So Todd hit me with that, and he hit me good, but it didn't hurt. And if it's not going to hurt me, a full can, it's not going to hurt Raja Jackson, right? Because he's a lot tougher than I ever was or ever will be.
Yeah.
Right? He's a beast of a dude. And I think it was more of an ego thing. Like, he hit me and I feel embarrassed in front of everybody right now because I didn't know that was coming. But the guy who said to him, he said, you're not going to sell it. But again, Raja Jackson, not understanding anything.
Yeah.
Was not clued in. Doesn't know what do you mean I'm not going to sell it. But he's already hot-headed now. He's already pissed, right? That's where it kind of de-escalated quickly, because there's another video where they're seen talking, where Stu Smith is sitting down and Raja's standing, and they kind of apologize, and he said, oh man, I didn't know, my bad. And I was like, all right, no problem. So my theory is that he was told to say, hey, no problem, knowing that he's going to get some heat on him later. Now, this guy that invited him with the cowboy hat, there's another video where he's egging him on. You got to get your payback. You got to fuck him up. You got to do this. You got to do that. And that's where it went wrong, right? It should have been killed right there. It happened backstage. It didn't happen in the ring. Raja should have went up to him backstage. If he's got a problem, punch him.
100% agree.
Right? You get your payback. That's your receipt. It's like I was telling Shane Helms this week, on X. It's like, hey, it used to be back in the day, 1 for 1, right? You mess me up once, I'm gonna mess you back up. That's the receipt. If it's in the ring, you do it in the ring. If it's backstage, you do it backstage. Okay? And that's it. That's how men go about their business in the wrestling business. And I'm sure women do the same thing. But what happened was this guy in the cowboy hat's egging him on. You got to go. You got to get him. You got to get him. You got to get him. So it turned into one mess up to attempted murder.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, he's sitting there and he's going off, and whoever was next to him, as the show was going on, he's in the front row because he's a guest of this guy in the cowboy hat, and he's getting egged on, and he's pumping himself up, and he's got it in his head that he was embarrassed, and whatever video he was trying to make, apparently it didn't go the way that he wanted it to go, and now he's all hot-headed, and he's so stupid and uneducated that he can't wrap his head around that shit happens, and as a man, you get over it. So he goes in the ring, and I mean, he picked him up and slammed this Stu Smith guy into the canvas, and of course, Stu's not, he doesn't know what's going on, but he tried to work with him because he thought it was part of like what we're doing here, and as soon as he hit that canvas, he was out. He was already knocked out because he took that bump viciously. It wasn't a worked bump, and even then, that should have been it. If you're going to do something in the ring, which you shouldn't have in the first place, you had no business doing that. You had no business to come into an environment that doesn't belong to you. You're not a part of. But now you knocked him out. So what does that thug piece of shit do? He grounds and pounds an unconscious dude, like you see in the streets. These animals on the street that don't know how to contain their emotions and are too dumb to fucking have any consideration for anybody else's well-being. And I have no compassion for Roger Jackson on the outcome of this because he deserves everything that gets thrown at him.
Agreed.
Of course, Rampage goes on. Everybody's racist now because, why? Because you're being called out for acting like a freaking animal? This has nothing to do with anybody's race. This is to do with you being a piece of trash.
Yeah.
And what you did was absolutely wrong. And that should have been handled like a man backstage and not, I mean, you have done something that is, first of all, I have no problem saying it's attempted murder.
Yeah.
Because unless somebody came in and stopped him, who knows what would have happened. I mean, because he was going to town and he was not stopping.
Yeah. I would definitely classify it as a attempted murder as well.
I mean, almost a week later, and the guy's still in the hospital.
Yeah. I saw the footage, and it was pretty crazy. It was absolutely unprofessional. And at first, I saw him go in the ring, do the whole ground and pound thing. Okay, then more news started coming out, all the backstage stuff that you were talking about, and he was who was it? It was Raja Jackson was live streaming on Kick the entire time, from the backstage moment to the moment he goes and does what he does in the ring that everybody's talking about, the attempted murder. And I 100% agree with you. This dude is so unintelligent. I mean, he's on Kick. There's probably people donating to him. Hey, you got to go in there and get your revenge. You got to go do this. I'll tip you maybe $50 if you go in there and do this. And it's just kind of like in his mind, he's like, well, this is gonna go viral. This is why I'm gonna do it. And man, it went viral, but for all the wrong reasons, because you're just like a piece of shit at the end of the day.
Right.
And there's going to be people who say that that Psycho Stuart Smith deserved it because of what happened backstage, and to that I said that's ridiculous. That's completely, and there's no real reason for anybody to go into that ring and do what he did. Like, I'm sorry, you
Yeah,
know.
like I said, and you won't find anybody in the business who's worked at them that says that was acceptable.
Yeah,
That was, hey, you got a receipt. That's not a receipt. Like I said, okay, I hit you with the can. It didn't hurt. Don't tell me it hurt because it didn't. Okay, because first of all, he hit him with a can, but Stu hit him in a working way
hmm
as a wrestler, a veteran wrestler, because he's a veteran wrestler, knows how to do it and to make it look even more devastating than it was. And it didn't even look that bad. It was just a quick, off the head. And again, it's an empty aluminum can.
yeah,
Gosh, my kid hits me with cans all the time. I mean, when we're joking around, and so it's not a big deal.
yeah,
But this guy has this ego built up that he is something bigger than this wrestling business, and he's it's always been his dream, as he said in one of his videos, to fuck up a professional wrestler.
yeah,
So I know there's some professional wrestlers out there who would love the opportunity to take him up on that if they had, an opportunity to go face to face instead of being chicken shit and sneak attack and doing what he did. Um, but the fallout of this has been huge. I mean, the guy who egged him on, who invited him to the show, I don't know who he is, but he's another piece of trash. He lost his WWE ID contract,
good,
as he should. And KnokX Pro lost their contract as a developmental territory, as they should.
yeah,
Um, but like I was saying earlier, I'm sure they don't remember me because I'm a blip in their big universe. But years ago, I saw some of these guys talking, and the way it's this click thing and how they treat people and how they talk to people. I was never a huge fan of these guys anyway, because of just how they think they're so much better than everybody else,
yeah,
and they go around like, I mean, even oh my god, I mean, we lost a friend of mine who was the drunk Irishman was his gimmick back in the day, but when he passed away, Rikishi and a few others came to his funeral, and that's supposed to be a somber time, and kind of known him, like I said, and I worked with Rikishi in WWE, and then dealt with some of the guys outside of it, but even the arrogance, and how they carried themselves, it's kind of like, you can just tell. It's like these guys, you're just a number to these guys. You're just a number. And I don't know Jay and Jimmy Uso. They look like great guys. I think they're great guys. They've done a lot of good stuff for WWE. Whether we're a fan of Jay's work or not doesn't matter. As people, they seem like they're good dudes,
yeah,
which is not what I can say for these people running KnokX Pro. Um, and there's a reason they're not really involved in anything else on WWE TV, other than having a WWE ID contract, which is now gone. But you know, I don't know. This guy, he should be
he should be arrested.
arrested.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And
and tried for sure.
yeah, he's got to do some time for this, because this guy's life has been turned upside down.
Yeah,
Whether he comes out of hospital next week or 2 weeks from now, tomorrow, it doesn't matter. This is sitting with him the rest of his life.
yep,
His career could be over. Was he going to be a big main event guy anywhere? Probably not. He's already, in his 30s, I believe. So it's not like he's working to grow a career and get somewhere. I think that train has passed. But he loves wrestling, and it's something that he does, as he said before, for his PTSD. He was in the military, and this is a way for him to deal with certain things in life, and that's go out there and wrestle every week and put on a show, and it helps him with life. He's not trying to get to WWE. So this small outlet that he had for his own mental well-being could be taken away from him now. And where does that leave him? You know?
Yeah.
So a lot of damage has been done here, and this guy's got to pay for it. And he's got to be made an example of that. You can't just do this to people. Not because it's a wrestler, not because it's a wrestling show, just in general.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
You know, you see this on X and other social media outlets every week where people are getting jumped and attacked for no reason, and there's nothing being done about it. And you have this, which is mainstream now, and you have to set an example to show, like, you got to keep your emotions in check. You got to grow up, be a man, and deal with shit properly. And if somebody does something to you, deal with it in the proper way, the proper avenue for that setting. Like I said, nobody would have thought anything terrible of Roger Jackson if he had went up to Stu backstage and smacked him in the mouth and said, "Don't ever fucking do that again." And I'm sure Stu would have said, "My bad." That's happened a million times in pro wrestling, where people have gotten a receipt one way or another, and people go, "Yep, I deserved it. My bad." And there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, that's cool. You owned up to your mistake. You handle it like a man. We're good to go. I mean, you see the match with Brock Lesnar and I think it was Braun Strowman,
Braun Strowman,
where
yeah.
Braun, went a little too heavy on a punch, and Brock got him, and Brock fucking he laid him in the mouth pretty good.
Yeah, and I
So,
think in that one, you could hear Brock telling him, "Hey, settle down, dude."
slow down,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's all it took. That's how you deal in this. Sure, it's choreographed. Sure, you do working punches, you do working kicks, you do moves where you're working together to not intentionally hurt the other guy. But if the other guy hurts you, okay, receipt's coming. And that's what happened with Lesnar and Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman, man enough to go, you know what, I deserve that. Let's move on. Finish this match. Awesome. That's the way it should be. And Brock handled it correctly. Hey, you got me one. Here's one back. Boom. And that's how you do it.
Yeah.
It's been done a million times, and it'll always happen. It's happened in some of the women's matches recently, where one of the girls went heavy on somebody, and she just smacked her back, and hey, watch out. And it's like, oh, okay, slow it down, slow it down. It's that's the nature of the business, but it's not. I'm gonna jump you from behind and then knock you out, and then continue to obliterate your face
Yeah.
while you can't defend yourself.
Yeah, what's crazy is that doing a quick Google search of just Raja Jackson. Dude, same year, same age as me. He's 25. Which is
Yeah.
crazy to think about. That that there's somebody out there same age as me that just has zero respect for just humanity, I guess you could say. Because
Yeah.
that's just that was just so fucked up. Um Inexcusable.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But anyway, I hope Stu Smith recovers, and is able to get back to
Yeah.
living life how we lived it before this, whether it includes wrestling or not. And I'm be interested to see if he's welcome back to KnokX Pro or not. I don't
Yeah.
know how that's going to work out, but maybe WWE can put him somewhere, help him, wrestling wise, if he wants to travel somewhere else. I'm not saying that they should pay for anything, but because it had nothing to do with WWE. But as a corporation, as a business, you know, I know how WWE is, and they like to help people in various ways. So if he wanted to continue wrestling for another 4 or 5 years or whatever it may be, well, if you move to Florida or if you go here or if you go there, definitely make sure you have a spot somewhere to keep doing what you're doing. Or I don't know if there's any other promotions up there at KnokX Pro, but it has come across my mind. Maybe now's the time that uh, I open up a wrestling school down here and try and get a contract with WWE to revive what we
There
had
you
with
go.
UPW back in the day.
There you
And
go. Damn.
Southern California was a hotbed back in the day, man. You look at all the talent that came through here. Holy shit, Rick Bassman, credit to him for putting that together as far as the promotion and everything goes. And the guys that we had come through here was just amazing. I mean,
The Do-
Cena.
the Doyledin Wrestling School.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that to it, but we'd figure out a good name. We'd figure out a good
Yeah,
name for it,
yeah.
you know.
Interesting.
But that's something that, could be a thing. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. I'm always still interested in trying to do something with wrestling.
Yeah. Get your toes dipped in some way, shape, or form.
I'm almost 50, but at the same time, I'm still a big wrestling fan at heart, and still love the business, the tradition of the business. So I don't know. Maybe I'll put something together and pitch it. We'll see what happens.
Here it is. This is the first seed that's been planted. If it happens, it'll be fun to look back on this
And if it doesn't,
episode.
whatever.
Yeah.
You can laugh with us or you can laugh at us. I don't care.
Yeah, but I mean, you
All
did
right,
have
me.
your own wrestling promotion for
Yeah.
one event, right? Was it one event?
No, we did 4 shows.
4 shows. Okay.
4 shows back in 2014.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth the
MWE.
politics and the bullshit. Wasn't worth it, man. You
Yeah.
know, we had some promoters who are still around, and they wanted to make sure that some of the talent didn't come on my show.
That's crazy.
And it's not that we're getting paid by this other guy. It's just loyalty to friendship, it's like so stupid. And then, just in general, I mean, the shows were good. I mean, we got a lot of praise from a lot of the guys that were on the show. Brian Cage, who's in AEW, he loved doing that. I mean, I still talk to Brian, he's a great dude. And um gosh, who else? Chris Masters and a few other guys who don't wrestle anymore, but they love doing it. But it's just all that bullshit with the politics, and then just breaking even just wasn't worth it to me.
Yeah.
So, I always said I'll give it a few shows, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I don't need it. That's fine. Find something else.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, if I remember correctly, right after that, you started your own wrestling podcast. But, and we always try to figure out what the name of that was because we both forgot the name.
Yeah, so that was with a guy that I used to work with at a company that I was at, and he was a big wrestling fan. So we, I had contacts. We interviewed like Mean Gene Okerlund and a few other names back then. Gosh, who Lanny Poffo. I think everybody that we interviewed has passed.
Oof.
Man, it's not a good thing to come on this show, but or that show. But I forgot what the name of it was. But yeah, we did some episodes, and then it was just kind of like tapered off because he just didn't want to do it anymore, and it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I mean, it was good.
We've survived longer than that. That's
Yeah.
that's what matters. That's what matters.
And we will.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got to add to it, especially if we do start up a school.
Yeah. It only gets better from here. Is the hope, is the plan.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, it's this news, as sad as it is very interesting to see how big it got, because it's coming from such a small wrestling promotion that a lot of people don't talk about. I had no idea about this wrestling promotion until this incident. So I don't know. I just find that interesting that it's all it takes is one thing, and then everybody knows about it. And it's floating around online now. I mean, it's terrible that KnokX Pro is known for this incident now, but still, I mean, what's the saying? Bad press is good press.
Any publicity? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that
I
one.
don't think so, because this.
Yeah,
I
this
don't
is
think
pretty
it's gonna
bad.
help them. I don't know. I mean, maybe this will get them more butts in the seats. I don't know, but I mean, the venue they're running only seated like 50 people, and they've been around for years. So it's not really a promotion to do shows per se. It's just the shows are a way to get their students some time in front of an audience to hone their skills, see what works, see what doesn't work. And that could be 30 people, that could be 50 people, that's fine. But to have them dressing in the parking lot and under a canopy and everything, it's kind of like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Back in UPW, I mean, we did shows when I first started with them at LA Boxing, and you could only fit 30 people in there.
Wow.
Uh, and that was fine because there was a dressing room and there was stuff like that. But you know, it was a way to get these guys working in front of a real audience. Doesn't matter how many people, to just gauge reactions and work your gimmick and get some footage to be able to send to WWE and get noticed. And then we started doing shows at the Galaxy Theater, which then you could put in, I don't know, maybe 150 people, 200 people in the Galaxy. And that looked like, a big time place, depending on how you shot it. Um, but again, same concept though. You're just trying to get in front of a bigger audience now to gauge the reactions of your gimmicks, storylines, and see what works and see what doesn't, to be able to propel to the next level. So KnokX Pro is more of a, again, a developmental group as opposed to, an independent wrestling promotion that's trying to, grow.
Mm-hmm.
They'll never grow. They'll never get, you got to have millions. I mean, look at AEW, TNA. They had to have all these investors and everything to be able to just put on small time shows because it's very expensive to get TV time and everything else and the proper talent to get recognition.
I'm
Um,
sure now, like as a small wrestling promoter, to try and get your stuff out there, like on TV and stuff, is a lot harder because cable's not really prevalent anymore, and it's all streaming services. So I'm sure you have to talk to like certain people to get to, because if
yeah,
if you think about it, each streaming services is like their own like corporation. It's tied to a corporation of some sort, and uh, yeah, I'm sure that that's even tougher to get stuff put out than it is to just put stuff out on cable. I don't know.
absolutely.
I don't know
No,
though.
I totally agree. I mean, look at OVW. OVW has been around, Ohio Valley Wrestling, for many, many years. Jim Cornette used to own it back in the day. I think he sold it to Al Snow. And there was a whole Netflix documentary on the promotion
Hmm.
a couple of years ago. And, even they've been around for a long time. And a lot of guys went through that. I mean, Orton, Batista, Cena, all those guys went to OVW, came to WWE. Wherever they got trained, that's where they went to next, and got really molded into the WWE way
Hmm.
before going to TV, and because they had a big contract back then, and even OVW had trouble getting on local access TV. You know, and that's where they really were, was local access TV, and then you know, first of all, they had to pay for that, you know, to get on, and then you're on at 1 o'clock in the morning, and you're hoping 10 people see it, you know. So it's one of those things when you start up a small promotion, TV can definitely help, but it's going to be local access most likely. And local access, I don't even know if there's many local access TV channels anymore because
Hmm.
of streaming. Everything is so accessible, and you know, I don't know what's out there for a small promotion. So you have to have, in my opinion, to have any chance, big investors like TNA got, or a big, you know, multi-millionaire, billionaire like the cons with AEW,
Yeah.
and get that TV deal. You know, that's where you're going to start making money. I mean, look at AEW; they can't even fill arenas, and I don't know what merch sales are, but they have a huge contract with HBO, which is where a lot of their revenues come from. So HBO is paying them, substantial amount of money to put these shows on every week, and and of course TNT as well, or TBS, whichever one they're on. Um, it's the cable channels. But
Hmm.
that
Interesting.
that's that only came along because of the production value that they have and the money already being put in by the cons uh, to show AEW as something that's attractable on their networks. So if you don't have that, I mean, again, local access is all you're going to get.
Yeah, that's crazy though. It's just crazy how things have changed just because of a streaming service, or
Yeah,
just how things have changed just based on how we receive information now.
yeah,
um, but
yeah, crazy.
but yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about the KnokX Pro stuff. I mean, we were gonna talk about some stuff with Becky Lynch. She kind of got into some controversy uh, this past Raw, but it's kind of fizzled out in the news. Nobody's really talking about it because I feel like everybody's like, well, she's a heel and she's Irish, so what, it's such a, I don't know. It might be low hanging fruit, but I think she did it well. And I'm not a big Becky fan. I'm not a big Becky fan, and when she said that, I was like, oh, okay, all right, let's go. That's definitely something a heel would say. And if you watch it back, her, and I'm talking about her bashing Birmingham, and using Ozzy to bash Birmingham. I don't think she was bashing Ozzy. She was
Right.
bashing Birmingham, and anyways, there was people in the crowd clapping. There was people in the crowd like going nuts that she said that, and you know, but of course, it's always the people who are on the internet that are going to be offended. That most people who are offended by what she said probably weren't even in that arena for that night, and and it's just like I don't know what you guys expect, and it's probably even the people who are getting upset aren't even wrestling fans, and it's kind of wild, and I think that's kind of why it fizzled out, was because it's a work, you know. um,
Yeah.
I,
No, I
I
agree,
mean,
man. I
yeah,
mean,
you go ahead, take it
it
away.
was well, it was a good heel promo. Like I
Yeah,
said, yeah, um, everything that you said was exactly how I feel about it. Right? I mean, she's a heel. She didn't put Ozzy down.
no.
She didn't even mention his name. You know, just
Oh, she
basically,
did, she did. She
did
said,
she?
yeah, she was like, yeah, the best thing that came out of Birmingham died a couple weeks ago, but the good thing about Ozzy was he knew that this city was trash. That's why he
Okay.
moved to LA, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what? Bashing Birmingham. Who cares? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no. I mean, the timing. Okay. Maybe the family's still a little upset. That father passed away, but this wasn't a knock on him.
No.
If anything, it was like, yeah, he's a smart dude because he got out of here. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, that
He
that,
was
that
the
was
best
it.
thing that came out of Birmingham, you know?
That's what she said.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, if anything, yeah, it was positive, and I don't think that they should apologize for anything. Um, you know, Maybe people need to stop being self-sensitive and overreacting to every single thing.
Yeah.
You know, one day it's a aluminum can in the head, next day it's a heel promo.
Exactly.
It's like chill out. It's welcome to
Yeah.
wrestling. And Ozzy was part of WWE before. He did stuff before. I mean, it's part of the show. It's not. There's going to be many jokes about Ozzy Osbourne and stand-up comedy down the line.
Yeah.
Are you gonna crucify all these stand-up comedians? I mean, there's no limits on this kind of stuff. They're not knocking him. They're again. It was in good taste. I didn't see anything wrong with it, and I thought Becky actually did really good. Great way to get the crowd, riled up.
Yeah.
Talking shit about their city, not about anybody else. And so I thought it was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the only
It was better than
the only good thing that people are talking about of Raw. I mean, Raw's been kind
well,
of mid these past couple weeks.
yeah, yeah, and I tell you, I think the reason why it's kind of fizzled out is because of their whole Raja Jack thing. I think that's kind of taken over as far as the
Yeah, that
main
too.
focus of the news. Um, but I will say that this was a better promo than her SmackDown promo. Her SmackDown promo was too inside for the Irish people. Like everything was like talking about. I get it. You're in Dublin. You're in your hometown. You want to talk about, but went on a little too much for me to where I'm like, you're gonna lose the audience on TV when you're talking too inside stuff about Dublin and Irish stuff. I just thought it went on a little long for me, but
Yeah.
the Raw promo I thought was really good.
Yeah,
Served its purpose.
I agree. I think her and Nikki Bella did great. That's probably one of the best promos I've seen from Becky Lynch uh, ever since I've been watching Raw week to week, basically the start of the show. But yeah, I mean, it's I found nothing wrong with it. I loved it. I was like, oh hell yeah, let's go, you know. And this is somebody who we want to see like, get their ass kicked by the end of it. And that's what she's working towards, that's what she wants you guys to feel, of like, oh fuck that fucking Becky Lynch. you know it, she's a villain. I mean, again, these people who are getting offended, I just don't get it, don't understand, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I think they go, no explanation needed. It was not a knock, and this is what it was. If you misunderstood, that's your problem. We're moving on.
Exactly.
We can't, we got to, as a society, stop catering to these people who get offended by everything. We got to
Yeah.
just go, you know what? That's how you took it. That's on you.
Yeah.
I'll explain to you how it was meant. And if that's not good enough for you, that's on you. Let's move on. And we got a show to do. So adios. Don't watch.
Exactly.
That's simple.
Agreed. And
Yeah.
and I think mentioning that, you have so much heat on Becky now, and you're gonna have her up against Nikki Bella at Clash in Paris. You think they're gonna take the belt off Becky?
No.
No. You think
Well,
Bella will lose at Clash in
well,
Paris?
they're not going to take it off her because of the promo.
No,
I mean, if they do take
yeah.
it off, it's because they're going to give it to Nikki anyway. But I don't think it's sir. I mean, unless somebody else gets involved to bring Nikki Bella back, who is older than Becky. Becky is the man, and she's kind of the top dog of the women's division in a way. To have Nikki come back and take the belt off her kind of sends Becky back a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know if I do that, but you know, Becky does have some good heat going right now with the last few promos that she did. Does that translate back into the United States when she comes back over? I don't know, but it's definitely I believe that the stuff with Lyra really took her a step back. And Lyra seems to be just off TV. Maybe she'll be back in NXT now. I don't know.
She was on
But
Raw.
this past Raw?
Yeah, she was talking to
Oh.
Adam Pearce, being like, "Hey, has anybody checked in on Bailey? She doesn't seem like she's doing good."
Yeah, so I didn't watch all of Raw, as you can
Okay.
tell now.
Yeah. Just to give a little backstory of the whole. I mean, you know what's going on with Bailey? It's kind of this
Yeah,
kind.
she's got this thing. She's gonna bring back the hugging thing, I think.
I think it's gonna be. I think that's what they're gonna make it look like, but
Right.
then
Make a swerve out of it.
yeah, she's gonna turn heel because they're doing a whole dynamic where she's like, talking with the little devil and the angel on her shoulder. It's kind of what they're doing, and yeah, that was the kind of the TV spot that they had this past week on Raw, where the face Bailey was talking to her, and then the heel Bailey was like, "Ah, shut the fuck up! You don't want to listen to that version of you. That version of you was terrible. Nobody liked it. Nobody liked you, and da 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 da. You were a champion because of me, because of the side of me, or something like that. And I was like, all right, maybe see some cool character development with Bailey, maybe a new what's it called, new gimmick possibly, who knows. And that's kind of what Lyra was talking to Adam Pearce about.
Got it.
Who knows if they'll do anything with it. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I can see her pretending to bring it back and then turning heel.
Yeah, like a little Cena thing.
Yeah, yeah. But or maybe she brings it back for a very short period and then turns heel. I don't know how well that would work. I mean, the last time she had the big floaty things, the air guys,
Yeah.
she slapped them apart, and So yeah, I think the only way out of this is to turn her heel and act like, yeah, she's coming out as a face, like you said, and turn on whoever it is, Lyra.
Yeah,
But again, Lyra does nothing for me, and
same.
I don't think she's the right person, uh, unless Bailey's going to turn heel and just absolutely destroy her and go over in the program. That's fine, but I wouldn't put her on the mic too much. She's not very good on the mic. She's not. She's a decent worker, but She's got nothing that says, "Ah, I gotta watch her. I gotta watch her." You know. So
Yeah, agreed, agreed. Uh, so yeah, I'm very curious what the story is going to end up being with them or with Bailey just in general. We'll see, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, we could start heading into some Clash in Paris. We kind of did Clash in Paris predictions last week, but now that we have a full card, I think we were just missing a couple matches last week that were speculated of becoming part of the event, and now I think two of those speculated matches are actual matches that are on the card. So yeah, and I mean this is
I like when WWE listens to us.
yes, yes. But it was predictions that I did see online, so I can't take all the credit as much as I would like to. But yeah. So I mean, honestly, I'm looking at the WWE website right now. The promo art that they have for each match is honestly pretty sick. Like a Vincent Van Gogh painting of what is this? The Starry Night. What was the whole? Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Uh, but it looks cool. Looks nice. Looks really cool. John Cena, Logan Paul. We've already kind of. I mean, I this is a whatever match. I think this is probably what Logan Paul was just like. Well, I kind of want to fight John Cena. All right, we'll make it happen. I don't know. This is a
I
whatever
mean,
match.
well, John Cena is really dictating who he's working with, so this would be more of a Cena thing.
You think so?
But oh, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Oh yeah, he's getting to choose whoever he works with. I mean, he's choosing his last match and all that good stuff. Um, but I see Cena going over here. I
Okay.
don't see. I think we discussed this last time. I mean, if you're gonna have, if this is a second last match and he loses this and then he loses his last match, I mean, kind of
Yeah.
takes the air out of the sails. So I think you have him going into his last match strong, beats Logan Paul.
Or Logan Paul wins in a DQ. Maybe Jelly Roll comes out or something. I don't know. Unless I hope they're done with that. I hope Jelly Roll doesn't come out. But
I think they're done with that. I mean, they haven't mentioned him, or I don't see him going all the way to Paris just to, you know, I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, Cena would have to go over. Uh, Logan Paul is already great in the ring. I think
Oh
all
yeah,
the wrestling fans know that. And I don't think he needs to go over on Cena to get anything from it. Uh,
right.
but yeah, so
Agreed.
there's that. I'll save that to the end. Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed. Roman Reigns has to
Roman's
win.
going
Yeah, Roman has to win
Yes,
it. We talked
he's
about it
like he's
last
back.
week.
Happy dude.
Yeah, yeah, and we talked about this last week, and yeah, Roman has to win. I mean, the tribal thief has been stealing his shoes for the past week or the past weeks, and
Does he show up in sandals now because he's got no shoes left?
that would
What's
be
going on?
that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. But I think last we saw Roman, he was wearing shoes, so he must have like a whole closet or something that
I'm
shoe
sure he
closet.
does.
Yeah.
He does.
Uh, but yeah. So we'll I hope maybe the ref gets knocked out and you kind of have something where Bronson Reed is going after the ref's shoes or something, and then that's how Roman gets the upper hand or something funny. I really need them to like fully commit to this whole tribal thief thing where he's not only stealing Roman's shoes. And I hope it doesn't end after this, just because Roman, the tribal chief, beat the tribal thief. He's no longer the tribal thief. I hope they don't do that.
Right.
I hope he stays with this gimmick for a while, as long as he's with the Vision, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roman's going over. There's no way you can have Bronson Reed beat Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
No offense, Bronson, but yeah, he gets his shoes back, whatever, and I don't know if they're going to throw a funny spot in there. I think it's more of a beat down kind of. I think you have to make Roman look like an animal. He's kind of, for me, lost some of that viciousness, the spark that he's had when he was with the bloodline, and then after the bloodline. But
100% agree.
Being involved and with other guys kind of hides some of the stuff that he's good at, because you're focusing on everybody. But I think here he has an opportunity to really beat the shit out of Bronson Reed, and then make himself, the top dog going forward. Wants Rollins' title, maybe challenges Cena. I don't know, but
I hope not. I do not want Cena's last match to be Bronson Reed or Roman
no,
Reigns.
say Roman Reigns, yeah, not Bronson
Yeah.
Reed. No, I don't either. But I'm just trying to figure out where they're going to go next with Roman. I wouldn't want that either. But I do see him at least challenging Rollins. I mean, they got the history there.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. We'll talk about it when we get to what I think is going to be the main event match. But I don't know. Is Cody's not wrestling. So yeah, I think the main event's going to be the Fatal 4-Way, but we'll talk more about that because I feel like we have a lot more to say about that. But you have a lot of people that want Rollins' title more than they want Cody's title. And then I feel like Cody's title is more, grand. You want that one. It's got the WWE logo on it. You're the face of the company. But it's just kind of I don't know if maybe it's just me, but I've never really seen to where all these wrestlers are going after this one person at the same time, and it's pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting story, I guess, that they're having with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they've, when you have a faction and you have one of the guys in the faction as a champion going up against other guys, same number of guys, you're going to have multiple people clamoring for that title. Whereas Cody, he's just one dude, and you have him in a program with one guy, and I think that works best, And I prefer that. I don't like when you have too many cooks in the kitchen. It can be done with the right guys. I don't think we have the right guys here for this.
Yeah.
But less is more, and as long as you have the right program for the title that's up for grabs, it can mean more than having 4 or 5 guys coming after the one guy. But again, it's got to be the right guys. We did it back in the day where they had you had a bunch of people going after Austin, because Austin was kicking everybody's ass,
Yeah.
Austin didn't like anybody, so everybody was his enemy. So you had heels and faces who wanted Austin's belt. You had Rock, Taker, Kane, Big Show, Kurt Angle. And they all wanted a piece of Austin. And the ministry and the corporation and all that stuff. So, again, with the right people, that can work. But again, it's kind of muddied down. It's too much. And I don't know if you noticed or not, the bits of Raw I did watch last Monday.
Yeah.
There was a backstage segment with Paul, Rollins, Bronson, and Breaker. And when Rollins was talking, did you watch Breaker's face?
Yes.
I'm telling you, he's going to win the Royal Rumble and he's going to challenge Rollins.
That'd be great.
can milk this for another 4 months, not a problem.
Yeah.
Just little things like that where you facial expression, and then you can look when they had that promo, look back on it, and it's like boom, boom, boom. Oh shit,
They
that's
set
where it
this up
began.
early.
Oh, you have to. Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's awesome. And that's the great thing that WWE does nowadays. Again, and having the hindsight to the foresight to go back and look at the hindsight, right? Is yeah, well, 6 months ago, 4 months ago, this is what we did, and it plays into now, and it makes great video. So I think it's coming. It's gonna be one of those things where he's gonna just snap and fucking go off on Rollins and
Yeah.
win the Royal Rumble, and holy shit.
You think they're gonna turn him face, or you think they'll keep him a heel?
Oh, that'll turn him face.
Okay.
Oh, he's already so over with the crowd.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
You hear the crowd, row, 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 I mean, you hear the crowd. His dad or his uncle.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what was it? It was the main event, because they've just been having well, this is how you know that the company is so over. The company itself is so over on what's it called? Braun Breaker. I'm looking at Bronson Reed, so they're both Bronze. It twists
Bronze.
up my name, or twists up
Braun
my
Strowman.
brain. But yeah, this is the second Raw that we've had in a row where he's also the main event of the program. And we had him versus LA Knight. Phenomenal match, by the way. LA Knight, so good in the ring. It reminds me of The Rock, and in all the best ways possible too. And
Right.
Braun Breaker, again, phenomenal in the ring. Everybody knows he's phenomenal in the ring, and the crowd was loving this match. They had, when LA Knight was having the upper hand, and you'd hear them doing the yeah thing, and then once Braun Breaker got the upper hand, everybody just started barking. It was,
Right.
it,
Right.
it was great. It was phenomenal, and it, but you also have to keep in mind that they were in Birmingham. All the European fan bases, they turn it up to 11 in those crowds.
Yeah, they don't get to see him that often, so they're going to get their money's worth.
Yes,
Cheer on whoever the hell they want. Everybody.
yes,
'Cause
yes,
who knows when they'll see him again, right?
exactly, exactly. And it was like, we've had an episode in the past where we talk about how much a crowd makes a program, and it really shows here that the crowd really made this Raw feel like it was entertaining. Because if we just had a quiet American crowd, it would just be like, it's whatever Raw, because it was kind of just like the like last week's Raw, not this past week, but the week before it. It was just another mid Raw, but the crowd really just put that energy into it. That's what it needs. That's what Raw needs, and I think that's what every wrestling program needs. Is just a fucking phenomenal crowd. But yeah,
Well, I mean, part of that though is also the American crowd is jaded, and you have to give them more.
they're
Again,
picky.
like, we talked about how the week before's Raw was meh. Well, if you want the crowd reaction, give them more.
Yeah,
Give them something to chant about and to cheer about, and to give them some extra oomph.
yeah.
Um, but hey, what about this? What about if Rollins somehow loses the championship between here and Royal Rumble, and it's the last two in the Rumble is Breaker and Rollins?
Oh, while the Vision
Yeah,
is still a thing.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
You know,
See,
and
I just can't see Rollins losing the title as long as he's with the Vision.
well, my thought on that was if he loses it to LA Knight, and then you have an LA Knight Braun Breaker main event at WrestleMania, that's kind of interesting. But I agree, it's one of those things. I wouldn't take it off Rollins either.
Yeah.
Throwing out different scenarios. My main thought is
Yeah.
still
Yeah. Yeah.
Rollins is the champ going into Mania. He holds it till March, April, whatever Mania is going to be, and Braun Breaker wins the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, Breaker's he's got to get a big push. He's got to have something, because
Absolutely.
the crowd, the fans are in love with him right now, and he
Yeah.
needs something. He needs that title, man. He needs that. Uh, yeah, yeah, because I think he will have an amazing title run. Probably one of the best title runs that we've seen in a while, in my opinion.
And you said it there a few minutes ago. The last 2 weeks he's been in the main event, right? Well, that's another part of the puzzle later on. That's like, I've been main eventing Raw.
Yeah,
I'm the flagship of the show, not you.
yeah,
You may be the champion, but I'm the one out there busting my ass.
yeah. The
So if I'm the
reason
main event of Raw, why am I not getting a title shot?
Yeah, yeah, because he's main evented almost everybody in that fatal four way.
Yeah.
So if Rollins wins that match, hey, I weakened them for you. I was the one that got them ready for you to destroy them. Without me, you wouldn't have won, or something like that. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Hey, we know you're listening. We know you're listening, Paul.
But I think though, you still have to hold off on all of that until after Survivor
Yeah,
Series. I mean, give the little snippets that you're getting right now. They have the four-man, whoever they bring in, Gunther, whoever it is that they bring in as a fourth person, which they should. Sorry, I got some sniffles. Um, and maybe a bit of dissension in the Survivor Series match, because then you have just December and January for the Rumble, so it's not too long, really. Still sowing the seeds of bickering then, and that's when Braun Breaker during the December to January timeframe can tell Rollins, you know what, you're pissing me off, and if I win the Royal Rumble, I'm coming after you. You
hell
know,
yeah, hell yeah. I love it. I love
yeah,
it. Yeah, just give this whole vision stuff. Like, it kind of took a little bit for the gears to get going. We kind of were like, they got to do something. But
yeah.
I feel like without Braun Breaker, it wouldn't be as entertaining, in my opinion. Uh, especially picking up on those certain key moments of like, oh shit, look at the way he's looking. Look at the way, he's looking at Rollins in this moment. Uh,
Yeah.
it's just those little things that just make it interesting, for me. And yeah, but
I
but
still
yeah,
want to see the Vision in their own room backstage, their own, not a dressing room, an actual, way Vince used to have his room.
yeah,
The important people have their own room. Paul Heyman, the Oracle, should have his own room back there, and it should have stuff that is important to Paul on that wall. You
yeah,
know, and that's stuff that you can also use in a future storyline. Big huge poster of Seth Rollins with a title. Maybe Braun Breaker kind of looks at it every now and then, like
you can
little
have,
little
yeah,
subtle.
in those pictures, and to add on to that, those pictures will have, Braun Breaker having those, giving them, certain looks,
Right,
and
right.
then maybe you have Paul Heyman turn on the Vision as a whole and go with Braun Breaker and just be his manager. Uh, you know, something,
Yeah,
something. Maybe have
but
a
I want to see.
triple threat and they fight for the custody of Paul Heyman.
Yeah, but nobody wants to win. Uh,
Yeah.
but I want to see more backstage stuff with them where they're
Yes.
like I've said this last few weeks. Like it's just like Pierce should be coming in, or they should be going to Pierce's office. I want to see more interaction with Paul Heyman and Adam Pierce, and stuff like that. So enough of the hey, this is who I am, this is who he is. Give me more content of vision of why I should
Yes.
hate them so much, not
Yeah.
just the stuff.
All those promos that we sees should be backstage and stuff that they're doing backstage instead of giving us what we see every fucking week at this point.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
I still enjoy it.
I know they're different than DX and they're different than other factions, but these other factions used to do stuff like spray paint somebody's car or make it more personal, you know. And I think we need more of that. To like, holy shit, I can't believe you just did that.
Or
Without these guys to interact, save it for
yeah,
the ring, save it for the match, you know.
yeah, or you have the judge. This is just an example. You don't want to, don't not saying that I want to see this, but the Judgment Day, they coming out of their limo all together. Then they
Right,
go like towards the end of the night. They're about to leave, missing a tire. Who took it? The tribal thief.
right,
The
right.
tribal thief
Yeah,
took the tire.
absolutely. And
Something like that.
he comes out next week with a big tire around his neck.
Yes, yes. Yeah, stuff like that, little things like that, just to make it. Because I feel like my biggest issue right now with WWE is everybody just feels like they're in their own little circle, you know, when we know they're all sharing the same backstage area, you know. What is the Judgment Day's opinion on the Vision? It's another faction that they got to worry about, you know.
But going back to what you just said, that's something that they could do weekly. Where
Yeah,
not maybe not weekly, but like and not the car tire, for example. But I like where you're going with that. I mean, all it takes is somebody backstage to go, "Hey, you see my phone anywhere?"
yeah.
You see my No, I didn't see it anywhere. Fuck. All right. Anyway, I gotta go. I got a match soon.
And then you
You know.
have Michael Cole. Tribal thief strikes again.
Well, not even that. Just you don't even have to acknowledge that it was stolen by him. Bronson Reed can come out later and
Yes.
say, "Hey, what you call?" Or he has got his phone and he's like, "Hey, let me see. Oh, mom. Oh, let me call your mom." It's like what the, and you have a match just for that reason. And now you want to see Bronson Reed get his ass kicked. And this whole
Yes.
thing was developed in one show and can be finished in one show. Bronson Reed goes over because for him to do it and then lose makes him seem like a chump, right? So it's obviously not a big name guy, but somebody like Otis or whatever, whoever. And you make steal his phone, steal. It doesn't have to be just his shoes, you know, different things. To where it's like, and then something goes missing, and you're like, the next week, like somebody's missing something, and then they realize, oh, okay, if it's missing, I know who has it,
The tribal thief.
and I gotta go get it. And
Yeah.
they're like, shit, now I gotta fight this guy. And that's his thing. He fucking steals shit, goes to the ring. He's like the Repo Man, beats the shit out of him. Once he's done beating them, he gives his whatever he stole back to them, and he's done with them.
Yeah.
And then finally he picks the wrong guy. Finally he picks the wrong guy, and it's like, motherfucker, I'm coming after you now.
Yeah.
And that's for a PLE match instead of just a Raw match.
Yeah. And
So you gotta add more to the dynamic of that. You gotta grow that. You've gone so far. That awesome tribal thief gimmick. That's so cool. Now where do you go with it? Elevate it more.
yeah.
Make him a real thief.
Yeah. And they got a tribal thief T-shirt that he was wearing. That I'm like, you know what? I kind of want that shirt.
I
um.
didn't.
Yeah. On Raw, he was wearing the tribal. It was the same font as as tribal chief, but it said tribal thief. And
Okay, that's
and
cool.
for everybody watching, if you've made it this far, we're not big fans of Bronson Reed. I mean I remember Vision Empire at the time. I think they tried to call themselves, but I don't think anybody liked it. I think everybody just compared it to Star Wars, and I think that's why they changed it. But you have once we heard that Bronson Reed was going to join this faction, we're like, all right, whatever, kind of don't whatever. And then we see him first couple times they come out, we're still kind of like, it's kind of excited. Maybe they're going to do something with him, but now it's kind of like, whatever. But here we are. We want to them to build upon Bronson Reed with this gimmick, and we had an episode about it. All it takes is a good gimmick. Even if it's a bad gimmick, it takes a person to put that gimmick over.
Right,
And
right.
I think this is a perfect example. We're
We
seeing
we
it in
love
real
to see
time.
him. We love to see him commit crimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, as long as people are aware of it, right?
Yeah.
As long as nobody's getting hospitalized, um,
Right, right,
you
right.
know. But
But yeah, but there's so much you could do with that. There really is. There's so much more you could do with that gimmick. You got to play it out. Like you said, if he loses, he's got to continue with the gimmick, and evolved it into something else than shoes, right?
Yeah. And just go crazy with it. Have him steal like the wackiest stuff. Like, oh, Adam Pearce's suit is all wrinkled up. Well, it's because Bronson Reed stole his iron or something. Like like something like that.
You might have lost me on that one. I don't know if he snuck into his hotel room and stole his iron or what's going on. That's kind of creepy. But back in the day, we had Jean-Pierre Lafitte pirate gimmick, and it was Pierre Oulet, right, who was part of the Quebecers as well. But he was a pirate and he stole Bret Hart's jacket, and that was the whole reason why Bret was pissed at him, and they had the match and all the jacket back. That was goofy back then because he was a pirate.
Yeah.
But it had to be some badass who stole his jacket and be like, "Oh, motherfucker, let's get him in." But that just reminded me of that right now. But
that's cool.
That was bad. That was bad. That was back in the 90s when business was not good, and you could tell why, that kind of storyline. But talent wasn't that great either. And now I think with Bronson Reed, who is a bit of a monster and he's more serious, have him steal whatever.
Yeah, just go crazy. And then every time we see him backstage, give him his own little room, and it's just all the stuff that he's stolen over the past, I
love it.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, you have it all. Oh man, I love it. Then the cops show up. It's like, where's all the evidence?
Oh man, yeah, that'd be great.
Well, yeah,
that'd be great.
You can do a lot of fun stuff with that.
Yeah, but I mean, Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. This is what this conversation turned into. Roman's gonna go over. He has to,
unless Bronson steals the win.
There it is. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. But yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, just dig into that tribal thief gimmick more. It's so
they
good.
will. They listen to the show. They'll do it.
Yeah.
They know they got money on that one.
You got this, Paul. You can do it. But yeah, I think let's move on to the next match. I mean, I don't know what order they're going to appear on the show, so we're just going in whatever order. Nikki Bella versus Becky Lynch. We kind of briefly went over this. Really not much to say. I think Becky Lynch is probably going to win this. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Yeah,
Becky Lynch. I
Yeah,
I'll see why you would change that, but who knows?
Unless Nikki Bella is going to retire or something. But even still, I'm just like, whatever. But yeah. So then I think let's go before we get to the last match I want to talk about. This is probably going to be our favorite match of the night. Sheamus versus Rusev in the good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. I don't care who wins. I just want a good match.
Oh, it will be.
Yeah.
I guarantee you this is going to be the match of the night. This is going to be crazy. Hard-hitting, stiff.
Yes.
Just all over the place. They may even leave the arena and go to the Eiffel Tower.
And then Superman comes in and saves the day.
In the elevator, and he just pops up.
Yeah.
But hey, how freaking cool would that be, right? The match starts. They leave the arena fighting. Whether one jumps in the car, the other chases them, right? Kind of like what they did with Piper and Goldust back in the day. And they're like, okay, well, we'll continue on with the show, and we'll try and catch up with these guys. We'll send a camera crew after them. Now, this is wrestling. Let's suspend all belief and get back to being a wrestling show where you do crazy shit like this. Now you have a match going on. It's like, hold on a second. We have a small screen in the corner here where you have the camera crew following these guys, and they pull off somewhere, famous place in Paris, where there's the Eiffel Tower or somewhere else.
The roundabout. That big roundabout. What is that called?
There for 5 minutes around a roundabout.
Yeah. Well, have you seen? You haven't seen John Wick 4, have you?
No.
Getting a little off topic. I mean, it's still Paris, but yeah, there's a big action scene in that famous roundabout with the arch in the middle.
The Louvre?
I don't know what it's. Yeah, I guess if that's what it's called.
Right.
But
forget.
one of the best action scenes I've ever seen in the movie. I mean,
Yeah. So then
yeah,
you catch up with them there. They're just brawling at it. You already have some stuff staged up because you got permits and all that, so you're able to record. And there's all stuff ready for them to use, all weapons and all that. Like, and they're beating the shit out of each other in the middle of Paris.
yeah, they're
How
clashing
iconic.
in Paris.
They're clashing in downtown Paris. How iconic is that for footage down the road? I
Yeah,
mean, beat the shit out of each other. And then they eventually make their way back to the studio or to the arena. And, so you still have other matches going on. And then 4 matches later, here they come back. And this match has been going on since match 2 or whatever it
just
is,
have
match
a
1.
ref following him.
Yeah, absolutely.
The match is
Absolutely.
going on during the Fatal 4-Way.
Yes. Yes. And, actually, I think Fatal 4 would probably be the main event, but
Yeah,
still, you have that. And before that match, here they come back into the arena, beating the shit out of each other, get into the ring. One of them gets the win. I don't care who it is. Doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, I've enjoyed the shit out of this program. And it doesn't matter who's won the previous matches. And whoever wins, wins. And then they get up, and as a sign of respect, motherfucker, here you go. Hug it out.
then new tag team, the Treaty of
Exactly.
Nations. Yeah, that would be
But they should
fucking great.
utilize Paris, man. I'm telling you, they should have that
Yeah,
match go for the whole show almost. Obviously, they're not wrestling the whole show because when the camera's not on them, they're not really doing anything.
yeah.
But hey, 5 seconds to go. Here we go. Start. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Okay, and we're out. You guys are good for now. Okay. We're going back live in 5 seconds. Here we go. All right, let's get ready. Here we go. You know?
They could have a makeup crew
And
put like bruises on them. Fuck it, do it. Eh,
uh, I think they're going to beat the shit out of each other so much you won't need to do that. But uh, it's they should take full advantage of
yeah. I
it
think
would
we're
be
asking
cool.
for too much. I don't think WWE is going to give that payoff. I would be very surprised. I would be very pleasantly shocked if they did that. But I think they're going to still stick to their formula. As much as I love your idea, um, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
Well, we'll see. I mean, again, they're listening, and
I mean, so when when you were with the company, was there ever a moment, or I mean, in the writers' room, do you like as a writer, do you try to, all right, let's take this idea and what's the most we can do with this idea, and then if you know that's what we want to do, they'll probably bring it down a notch, tame it down, but still, there's a chance that they could say yes to this, and if they say yes, it's going to be a killer idea. Was there ever a moment like that of like, let's go all out with this idea?
oh yeah, I mean, we did the whole thing where, um, who was it? It was Kurt Angle. I'm trying to remember. It was Austin, and Austin threw the title into the river.
Okay,
Now, we've done it before. I'm trying to remember exactly who it was. It was 24 years ago, but
that's
we did it. We did it.
almost as old as me.
Yeah, so we did a segment on a bridge, and in where are we, Pennsylvania, and got the belt and threw it into the river. Was Kurt Angle or Austin, one or the other? I forget what it was.
Interesting. So I'm curious, if they're in the writers' room with this match, the good old fashioned Donnybrook match, and they're just writing the most extreme stuff of like, yeah, we're gonna have them scale the Eiffel Tower. They're gonna,
Uh,
and then maybe they'll be like, if they bring it down, they tell us to tone it down, we'll tone it down.
no, so the writers aren't dictating what's going on in the match.
Oh, okay.
They may say, hey, can we do something like this in the match because that will play into what we have creatively booked for the next show or the next PLE. But as far as the match itself go, you have producers like Adam Pearce, who's a producer, Abyss, Shane Helms. You have all those guys who are producers who are saying, "Hey, we need to fit this into the match because it helps the storyline." But what else are we going to do? Well, what's the match going to be here? Let's make it make sense. Let's make sure psychology is, correct,
Yeah.
and we get everything in that we need to get in, and But as far as creative may say, "Hey, can we get them down to?" And then whatever happens there is really up to the producer and the talent.
Interesting.
If they do that.
Okay.
But but the creative team wouldn't say, well, hey, when they get there, here's the moves we want them to do, and here's what we want. They don't really get a say in that.
It's
So
it's more along the lines, I think it was last week on Raw, where Punk came out and Knight went through a table and Punk kind of just like shrugged at him. Like that was probably like something that the writers were like, hey, this is the spot that kind of needs to happen just so that we have something to go off of in the next program, right? That's
right,
kind of what
yeah.
you're
So
saying. Okay.
we'll say, hey, Punk comes out, he does a promo. LA Knight comes out, does a promo. Here's the bullet points. We want this to end up with Punk putting Knight through a table,
Okay.
and then it'll be done how they see fit in the ring. That makes sense professionally for them, you know.
Okay.
So
Interesting. Interesting.
yeah,
Interesting to think about. But yeah, this match is gonna be uh match of the night, match of the year, possibly. um,
possibly.
uh, I think that'd be a fun thing to do towards the end of the year. We try to pick out match of the night, or match of the year, PLE of the year. I don't know, something interesting that we could do. But yeah, Sheamus versus Rusev. I I think we can both agree we don't care who's gonna win. It's gonna be a good match
Right.
either way. And as long as we
Absolutely.
get a tag team out of it, I think it'll be really good. I hope something comes out of it. Uh,
I do too, because I think it'd be a waste if it didn't.
yeah, but
I think you can really capitalize on it as a tag team. And I'm telling you, if you capitalize on it as a tag team and they tag for a year and then they break up again, now you got another 6 months of them going against each other.
yeah,
You know, there's so much you could do.
yeah, agreed. But yeah, that's our prediction for that match, and we think that match is going to be night or match of the night. And speaking of night, we have LA Knight in a fatal four way, um, with Punk, Jey Uso, Seth Rollins. All are LA Knight, Punk, and Uso are fighting Seth Rollins for his World Heavyweight Championship belt. But it doesn't matter because Seth Rollins is probably just going to win because the Vision will come out and help him. And
Yeah.
then you'll probably see Roman Reigns come out and try to help Jey Uso. Uh, and uh, Raw ended with Jey Uso actually giving LA Knight and CM Punk a super kick, all while Roman Reigns was in the ring. So maybe Jey Uso's turning heel, maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, that is what happened. To be honest, I could honestly see Roman Reigns trying to make sure Jey wins or something, trying to make sure Jey gets that belt, and I don't know, something like that. I mean, what do you think on this fatal four way?
I don't see Jey Uso turning heel. Um, he is over selling a ton of merch, but with the WWE Unreal, they did come out and say, he's not where we need him to be. He's not the guy, pretty much. I don't know. I don't see Rollins losing this match.
Neither do I.
I mean, I think this is just a way for him to get more over as the guy to build him up for the next run, the next angle that he's going to be involved in. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't see Jey Uso turning heel. I see LA Knight being the star of this match.
Yep.
Um,
I think LA Knight
because
and
again,
Punk. I
sure,
mean,
absolutely. But you don't have to win to be made to look good, right? It's all in the execution of the match. Um, so Rollins wins. That's fine. Punk looks like a superstar, or LA Knight looks like a superstar. But you got LA Knight as a face, CM Punk is a face, Jey Uso is a face, and Rollins is a heel, right? Those are your four guys.
yes.
So you're going to have the crowd turn on somebody, because if it's Punk and LA Knight, they're going to be split. You're going to have Punk chance, you're going to have LA Knight chance. If it's Jey Uso, going to have the same thing. I honestly think that Jey Uso might get more heat than the rest of the guys,
I hope so.
because I I, I think from a older fan perspective, I'm kind of tired of the yeet and the song and the whole thing, and um,
Oh,
so
I was so thankful that they did that at the end of this past Raw. It was only at the end. Right after he super kicked CM Punk and LA Knight, they replayed the song, and then he was doing the whole thing. I was like, okay, thank God that it's over. I can just click off of it. I don't have to fast forward or sit through it.
yeah,
But yeah, I 100% agree with you. I don't think it's a uh older being an older person thing. I think it's more of a being a uneducated thing. I bet
fair
you
enough.
there's so many
If you
people
want
that
that,
are saying this word that have no idea what it even means. It's not saying that it means anything bad, but it's just, what is this? What is the word yeet? No, nobody knows. Nobody cares. It's just what Jey
yeah,
Uso says. You do the whole arm thing with the song. Again, I feel like it's just dangling car keys. Hey, you like this? Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's what it was.
yeah,
That's what it is. With the whole song and the whole yeet thing, it's just something to get the crowd excited for, and get them moving. I don't know. I don't. I don't know, because I do not like it either. Uh, but yeah.
yeah. I think if they turn him heel, I think it's. I don't want them to make. If he turns heel and goes with Seth Rollins' group, I'll be pissed, because he does not fit with that. He's gonna bring it down. He'll have to obviously change his whole gimmick.
Interesting.
The meeting will be gone, and he'll be a darker kind of Jey Uso, in retrospect, in reference to his character, not his skin color. But I think that it'll be one of those things where maybe they need to get rid of the whole Yeaton thing. It's played its course. Do they turn him heel now? Maybe they do. Maybe after talking this out with you right here, maybe they do turn him.
The
Maybe
only
he
reason
just,
I think that is because he super kicked Punk and LA Knight, two faces.
yeah, but they're in a match together, so I get it. But my point is, if they do turn him heel and he's by himself, it's a kiss of death for him, because people are going to destroy him because he's not a great wrestler. And what does he have if he's by himself without the whole yeet and stupid shit? I don't know. So if he's with a faction, though, you hide the lack of talent, and he's part of that gimmick now where he's just Jey Uso,
The tribal eater. I don't know.
the tribal evil. But so I don't know. Maybe they do turn him heel. Do you need to? I don't know. How good
Yeah.
are merchandise sales? I mean, that's what it's based on, right?
Yeah. I mean,
But
so we know Seth Rollins is going to win, but what if he doesn't? What if LA Knight gets the belt? What if Punk gets the belt? What if Jey Uso gets the belt? I mean, where and I think that's kind of where our brain is like, well, nothing, because Seth Rollins is going to win that belt. I don't think there's any story that has been teased, been built up. All these performers, they don't have other storylines that are going on right now, unless they completely start up anew after this PLE on Raw, because these guys are only on Raw, as far as I know. Um, I think LA Knight was on SmackDown, but ever since all this stuff started happening, now he's on Raw. So I don't know. That's kind of why I think Rollins is just gonna win, and it's a no-brainer that Rollins wins. But what if Jey Uso gets that belt? You know,
Oh, they're not putting the belt back on Jey.
you don't think so?
If they are going to move the belt, it will definitely not be to Jey Uso.
Okay.
They've already declared that on the Unreal show that he just doesn't have it. But I could see an LA Knight. I don't think Punk wins it here
No,
because if Punk's going to win,
yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
well, if Punk's going to win it, it's got to be a one-on-one with Raw.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Right? Yeah, it can't be a four-way where he gets a win and he doesn't pin Rollins for it. So, but even if he pins Rollins, it's kind of like, well, other guys did the damage too. So, if anybody else is going to win it, it will be LA Knight, and that goes then back to then. Does that mean Rollins and Breaker are the last two guys in the Rumble? Because Rollins wants his title back. Braun wants to get the title. Braun says, "Screw you, I'm the guy," and Breaker wins. But again, I don't see it happen. I see Braun Breaker coming down and helping Rollins win the belt, and maybe that's where we really start sowing the seed. I mean, sure, we've had the eye rolls and the looking away backstage stuff, but does Braun Breaker come down, help Rollins go over, grabs the belt, slowly gives it to Rollins while he's still looking at it, gives him a little wink. Rollins kind of like, "What the fuck was that?" And then you don't talk about it anymore. Just let it go. Let it go. And these are the subtleties that you just let happen and let people make up their own decision about it.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain it. Let people talk about it. Don't just pretend it never happened, but let them build it up in their minds, and you move on with the storyline, and then you eventually get to the Rumble, and that's the way I see it happening.
Yeah. I. I mean, I think you're right on the money. I think that's exactly what's gonna happen. That's how it's looking. But I do like surprises when it comes to these sort of things, and that's, I think, maybe what we will get as well. The little surprises here and there within that storyline that builds up all the way to Rumble, which is going to be in Saudi Arabia. So you gotta.
Yeah.
I don't. Every wrestling fan I've talked to about Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, they're all like, "Oh, I hate it,
Yeah.
But
But again, I still think they got to have two nights.
I agree. A women's Royal Rumble and a men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you hear us, Paul. Make it happen. But
What other
yeah,
matches do we have? Flash in Paris. Is that it?
that's it. I mean, there last week we did briefly talk about a speculated match with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. Right now, since we're recording this on Friday at uh, midday,
Yeah.
SmackDown hasn't happened yet, so we don't know if they set up a Cody Rhodes McIntyre match, and if they
Well,
do.
SmackDown's happening right now.
Oh, okay. So
It is live.
let me refresh the WWE website. Maybe they have added somebody. No, they haven't added anything. So that is all the matches for Clash of Paris. If they do add Cody Rhodes and McIntyre, I think Cody's got to win it. Um, I don't see Cody losing the belt before he turns heel. And I think that heel turn is going to be coming soon.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, I mean
Agreed on that.
that's it. that's it. I mean, you have anything else you'd like to add? Anything else like to say?
No, I mean, I don't know if we want to touch on the Jake Hager, formerly Jack Swagger, who was released from AEW and is
Oh,
W and Tony Khan, and I mean, it's whatever.
what was he doing again? Can you? Sorry.
He went on a podcast and kind of trashed AEW and Tony Khan and how things are ran there. Stuff that we already know about, but he kind of went into detail a little bit. Some of the AEW guys defended AEW. So I mean, is it a disgruntled employee or is it factual? I don't know. But
Yeah.
I just know that AEW needs. I mean, I saw some of the stuff from the last show they did, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? I mean, they have to go to Europe to fill a house. Number one, and number two, the stuff they have, like blades cutting, like gnawing into somebody's head, is just what are we doing? I mean, this is just insanity, and
It's not wrestling anymore.
it's not. I mean, it really isn't. I mean, they went to the ECW arena though to put on an extreme show, which is why they did all that stuff. And I don't know if they filled it or not. Pretty sure they did. It's a small venue, but again, trying to be, and I even compared it to ECW a few weeks ago, you know, and saying how they have that niche audience that just doesn't translate into, you know, something that's going to be national and filling arenas, you know, with dedicated wrestling fans. It's going to be this niche group of people who like to see violence that has no psychology tied into it, springboarding acrobats that makes no sense. Just want to see flips and flops, and you know,
Like you said, Cirque du Soleil.
it is Cirque du Soleil with blood, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving on from that. That's all I got on him.
Yeah, I didn't hear much about that, about Jack Swagger or whatever his real name is, but um, yeah, I mean, I I I always find it funny when it's always when they leave a company is when they start to, air out their
Yeah,
dirty laundry. And just
they
kind
were
of,
fine whatever when they were getting paid.
yeah, exactly. And it's just kind of, I don't know, kind of, what does that say about you, you know?
Yeah,
But but yeah, that's all I have to say. Um,
we got lots of football this weekend. I know you're excited.
and
I know
on
you're
that
excited
note,
about
this has been the Doyle. I'm just kidding.
that.
Yeah, we do have football. I'm not a big football fan, but
I posted on X yesterday all my predictions for last night's games, and I went 18 for 21. So that's pretty good.
yeah,
I may start doing a video every day of football games on X or something. I don't know.
do it on
I'm usually
here.
pretty good. I'm
Screw
usually
it,
pretty good at football predictions because I don't know. So we'll see
because
what
it's
happens.
because you're Doyled in.
I'm Doyle in with the
Yeah,
football, baby.
so that's all you got to do. You got to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you're Doyled in. That's all it takes.
Good. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and potential wrestling school. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And with that being said, this has been the Doyledin podcast. Have a good day, have a good night, whatever your time zone may be. Don't forget to always stay Doyled in. And we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.